Hola a todos and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about 10 of my favorite podcasts in Spanish. So this is perfect for those of you who are looking to learn Spanish or you just want to listen to some podcasts in español. So yeah, without further ado, let's just jump into it. So I'm going to start off with a few podcasts that are targeted especially towards language learners. So this is great if you're kind of just a beginner and you're starting off and you're just looking for some podcasts to help you improve and practice your listening. So first of all is Coffee Break Spanish. Coffee Break kind of has like multiple different languages, but the Spanish one basically is really nice because it has like content targeted towards beginners. So they speak really slowly and then they kind of basically they'll have like a text or a dialogue, and then they'll break it down like sentence by sentence and then explain what exactly is going on. So it's really good if you're a beginner and obviously you don't really understand yet, so you need to kind of have someone guide you along. So yeah, that's a really good one. Another one is Duolingo Spanish. So Duolingo obviously is a language learning website and they also have a podcast now too. And it's really good because it's about episodes that are like 20 minutes long and they kind of go through really interesting stories about history, politics, culture and things like that. So they speak slowly and clearly, and then they also have someone that's like kind of guiding the story as well, like narrating in English. So again, it's really easy to follow and it's really good for beginners. Another one is Espanol Con Juan. So this guy actually has a YouTube channel as well. Basically, he's like a Spanish teacher from Spain. And he speaks in a pretty clear accent as well, and he speaks very slowly. And I really like his podcasts because he'll kind of tell a story and then he'll kind of stop along the way and explain what different words mean. But the explanations are also in Spanish, which I find for me is really, really helpful, because I think personally it's better to explain something in that target language rather than using English or another language to explain something, or just giving like the direct translation, because that way it doesn't really stick in your mind. So I really like his style and the way he explains stuff in Spanish. Another one is the Unlimited Spanish podcast, which is a guy called Oscar Payos, I think. I don't actually know. But yeah, anyways, he is another guy from Spain, and I remember listening to this podcast like a couple years back when I just started learning Spanish, and it was really good because he speaks super slowly and clearly, and the episodes are really short as well, like around 10 minutes long. So if you just have, I don't know, if you just want to take a shower or if you just want to go for a walk, it's really good just to play in the background as well. And the next one is TED Español, which I'm sure you guys are probably familiar with TED Talks, but basically it's just the Spanish version. So they have kind of short 15-20 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer, episodes in Spanish, which is really good, and they cover a bunch of different like interesting topics as well, and all across the world as well, so you've got different accents in there too. And then we also have NPR Radio or Radio Ambulante, which I forget the guy's name, but I think he is from Mexico, because he kind of has like this Mexican-ish accent, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, basically it's kind of just like a news channel. So it's really interesting because they talk about the news, what's going on in the world. So it's a great way to just keep up with what's happening and also practice Spanish at the same time. Another one is Leyendas, Legendarias, which is another Mexican podcast from, I think, some comedians in Mexico. One of my actually a couple of my Mexican friends have recommended this one to me. So yeah, it's just a couple like guys that is basically just recounting various like things that happened in history. Sometimes like conspiracy, sometimes just random stories. Like they did an episode on Bonnie and Clyde, so there's like criminals, and it's pretty interesting. They do use a lot of slang and they actually like swear quite a lot as well. So I mean, it's good if that's what you're looking for. But yeah, there's quite a few people talking and they do tend to speak quite fast. So I wouldn't recommend this one if you're just starting out. But if you are more kind of in the intermediate to advanced level and you really want to hone in on your slang, and especially like Mexican colloquial language, maybe if you're going to Mexico, it's really helpful. They basically say like "way" every 3 seconds. So yeah, you're really going to get used to Mexican slang. So yeah, that's a really good one. Leyendas Legendarias. Another one from Costa Rica is called Nosos Especial. I actually thought this was Colombia for the longest time, but then I realized they're from Costa Rica. But yeah, there's a bunch of different topics in here, but they basically talk about like relationships, like growing up, and various embarrassing stories. And so it's quite funny as well, and I find it really interesting. So definitely check that one out as well. And the last couple are Aislados. Aislados is a podcast. So it's 4 guys. 3 of them are from Argentina, and 1 of them is from Venezuela. And basically, they're all kind of comedians, and they're just like chatting about whatever, really. So they have a YouTube channel, and then they're also, I'm pretty sure it's also available like on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or something. So you can just listen to the audio if that's what you're looking for. And yeah, they talk about various things. They're from Argentina, so the accent is a little bit different, but I think it's really helpful if that's the type of Spanish you're looking for. Maybe you're planning to go to Argentina or like that part of the world, then it's really useful to listen because the Spanish is very different. So you do want to like learn a bit of slang, learn a bit of vocabulary that they have over there. Finally, one from Venezuela is called El Cuartico. Another very interesting long form podcast. So the episode's about 1 hour long. And to be honest, personally, I prefer long podcasts because you can just play them in the background and you don't really have to worry. But yeah, it's a really good one. It's like 3 comedians as well, 2 guys and 1 girl from Venezuela, but I think they live in Mexico now. If you guys didn't really already know, Venezuela is going through a bit of a tough time at the moment. Basically their economy and political situation is a shambles, so like a lot of people have left the country. And so yeah, they're 3 people from Venezuela. I think they're living overseas in Mexico or Argentina at the moment. But yeah, they just discuss whatever really interesting everyday topics. Usually they have 1 specific topic per episode. But yeah, it's really interesting. I really like the Venezuelan accent, so I think it's definitely worth a listen just to get accustomed to like different types of Spanish as well, because it's all well and good, I think, to learn one or focus on one specific accent, but at the end of the day, if you're learning a language, then you should be trying to understand as many people as possible. The reality is, like, more people in Latin America speak Spanish than people in Spain. So like, to me, it doesn't really make sense if you're just focusing on one specific type of accent. I think it's actually really good to train yourself to understand different types of Spanish and different types of accents. But I mean, that's just my humble opinion. And yeah, so those are some of my favorite podcasts in Spanish. Obviously, there's a ton more. I could probably make a whole nother video about 10 other podcasts. But if you guys do have some other recommendations, please comment them down below. And I'm also thinking of doing this one for French and also one for Italian as well. So let me know if you would be interested in that. But yeah, that's for today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Ciao!